Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Netflix Queen with Jasmine Mensah. This is our third episode, and I'm so excited about this one. You have no idea. Sorry if I sound a little congested. I have allergies. I'm not sick. I'm just have the little sniffles. So, anyways, this week's episode, we're going to be talking about The Society, which is another Netflix original series. And as always, if you have not seen this show, please don't listen to this podcast until you have seen this show. If I don't tell everything, I'm going to tell most of everything. So, let's get into it. So, The Society... Oh, such a good show. It came at a time where I was trying to find something new to watch on Netflix because I had watched The 10,000 times already. And back then, Prison Break was on Netflix and I watched that like 10,000 times. So I was like, what can I watch? And this came out, I think like May 4th, 2019. Don't quote me on that, but I know it was May 2019. So it came out and I was like, I'm going to watch it. It looks pretty interesting. So let me tell you a little bit what it's about. So it says, when everyone else mysteriously vanishes from their wealthy town, the teen residents of West Ham must forge their own society to survive. Now, just by listening to that, I know you're like, oh, I need to watch this. So I don't want to go deep inside everything that happened. I just have one question that I really want to talk about and I want everyone to think about. So the question is this: who really killed Cassandra? Now, you will hear me say Cassandra or Cassandra. Just know it's the same person. I just flip-flop a lot when it comes to that name. So anyways, we have a few options. I don't think it was Greg Dewey. I don't think he was the one that killed Cassandra. So let's just go ahead and talk about the many options that we have. So let's talk about Allie. Now, Allie is Cassandra's younger sister. She's basically been living in Cassandra's shadow forever. Now, Cassandra is now in charge of making the rules for West Ham. All the parents have vanished and they're scared. They don't know who to listen to. So Cassandra seems like a good fit. You know, she's strong, she's independent, she's smart, she knows what she's talking about. So yeah, Cassandra's now in charge. Now, Allie also points out herself. She points out herself a couple of times in the show about how she's in Cassandra's shadow. Now, Allie said to Cassandra one time, "I live in your shadow for 17 years and now you want to disappear?" Also, when Cassandra was sick and she needed her pills, why was Allie moving so slow to get them for her? I felt like that was extremely strange. If my sister had a heart defect and she needed her medication, I would be running. I would move my feet to get her pills. But Allie was just like, oh, it's casual. That was kind of strange to me. And I want to say something else. Another example. Allie said to Will one time, "I know how to be invisible." Now, Allie said it as a joke, but you can tell she feels some type of way about it. Like, oh, it's a joke, haha, but really, I'm pissed about it. I'm invisible. I'm in my sister's shadow all the time. No one sees me. And something else that happened, there was a committee list for people to help Cassandra, make the rules for West Ham. And when Allie found out that Cassandra didn't put her on the list, Allie lost her mind. Okay, Allie was completely livid. Again, feeling like she's been living in her sister's shadow. I will also like to point out the story that Allie told Elle in the beginning of the season when everyone started freaking out when they were at the grocery store trying to find food because their parents were gone. Allie said to Elle, was telling her a story about a cruise ship that was going under and the captain told everyone to stay put. And Allie asks Elle, she talks to her about the story and she says, "What would I do? Who am I in this story? Am I the one who dies so everyone lives? Am I the one who turns out weaker than expected? I know I'm not the heroine because that's my sister. So, who?" Now, I feel like there's a reason the story was in the show. It wasn't just to speak sense into Elle because Elle was acting ridiculous. I think it was in the show to give the audience something to think about or go back to after Cassandra was killed. And I want to point out another point. Allie slept with Harry, who we'll talk about in a few minutes. I love Harry. Harry and Cassandra don't get along at all. They have some kind of underlying issue. And by Allie sleeping with Harry, it was not a good look. It really just was not a good look. I was like, okay. And so when Allie and Harry showed up to the hardware store during the riot, Cassandra was in complete shock when she saw them together. So let's go to the night that Cassandra was killed, which is prom night. Allie was extremely annoyed with Cassandra at prom when Cassandra was taking photos with Kelly instead of her. You can also see the pure jealousy in Allie's eyes when Kelly gave Cassandra her big shout out at prom about pulling everything together. Cassandra notices this look from Allie and she feels it. Like, I feel her feel it in her soul, like, whoa. And so towards the end of the prom, we see Allie in a very, very deep thought. And I just want to know, what exactly was Allie thinking about? So when Cassandra was shot, we didn't see the killer's face. It looked like Cassandra had like a very strong connection or a bond with this person who had the gun to her. You could see the betrayal, the hurt, and the confusion like in her eyes. It was that deep. Also, I may be reaching a little bit, but now that Cassandra is dead, Allie knows that Will, who was Allie's best friend, who she secretly wants to be with, she knows that Will never leave her side because Allie is quote unquote hurting. Now, could this be a win-win for Allie? You know, she gets power. Her sister's dead. So now maybe I'll be in charge, or maybe people look at me to be in charge, which that does happen. She does take her sister's spot. So she gets power and love. That's a win-win if you ask me. So now I want to talk about Harry. Now, like I mentioned before, Harry and Cassandra have this like known hatred for each other. They really can't stand each other at all. Harry mentioned to Cassandra once, you're not the student body council president anymore, or something like that. So is that enough motive to kill her? Could he really be mad about Cassandra maybe beating him in the high school election? I'm not sure if that's what happened, but guessing from what he said, I'm just going to make the assumption that that's what happened. So Harry was also pissed that he had to share his house now with people that he doesn't even know. I mean, they all went to school together, but Harry was like the big shot around town. He didn't really pay attention to much people. Sorry. So he was mad about people having to stay at his house, and he was also mad because everyone had a job now. Cassandra made this work schedule for everyone to be on, and he didn't. I don't think Harry worked a day in his life. You know, this town is, people pretty wealthy. They have money. His parents have money. He doesn't really need to work. So that was kind of new for him. And he was also mad that Kelly, his now ex-girlfriend, was taking Cassandra's side and following her instead of following him. So let's just go ahead and go to the night Cassandra was killed. Now, the guys were at Harry's house, and Harry said that he wished Cassandra was dead. He says, Cassandra is the problem. If she were dead, we'll finally have some quiet. Now, anybody watching this show would think, oh, Harry did it. He just said he wished Cassandra was dead, and then an hour or two later, Cassandra's dead. So, people would think that was him. But me personally, I don't think it was Harry. It could be an option, but I feel like Harry, he can be a butthole, but I don't see him as a killer. I just don't. I don't think he has it in him to do it, which is a good thing. I hope. People will say that's a compliment, you know what I mean? So let's go ahead and talk about Will, who was Allie's best friend. Now, I know you're probably thinking, why would Will kill Cassandra? Well, just listen. Will could be a possible option to Cassandra's murder. We can ask this question. But was Will jealous of how close Cassandra and Allie were? Think about it. Maybe he was jealous of how much Allie and Cassandra had compared to what he had, or just how much everyone in the town had compared to him, because he didn't have it as easy as everyone else did. Also, I think Will likes the power. Now that Allie is in charge, Cassandra's dead now, Allie's in charge, Will is basically Allie's right-hand man. He calls the shots. And why was Will so ready to arrest Dewey and to execute him for Cassandra's murder? We didn't even have all the evidence yet. He was like, arrest him. Yeah, he made a confession to Harry, but he was really, I wouldn't say happy, but he was ready to arrest Dewey. So the last possible suspect I want to talk about is Campbell, before we talk about Greg Dewey, who was the one that was actually convicted of Cassandra's murder. So Campbell is the cousin to Allie and Cassandra, but he didn't care about family. He didn't care about that at all. Campbell was so willing to pull out a gun on Cassandra at church in the first episode. Who's to say he wouldn't pull the trigger? Campbell also said to Allie, who's his girlfriend, not Allie, Elle, who's his girlfriend, if I kill Cassandra, I would have been a little bit more creative with it. He honestly didn't care that his cousin was killed. And even though Campbell's an option, I feel like that's an easy option. Like, oh, he's the quote-unquote psychopath of the town. Campbell did it. I mean, yeah, you would think that. But honestly, I don't think he did. And it's not because I think he's a good person. Honestly, I think Campbell's just misunderstood. And I think that he is, they said he got tested and he's a psychopath. So, I mean, I think people should take a little bit easy on him, but that's just my 2 cents. So now let's talk about Greg Dewey, the one that was convicted of killing Cassandra. Now, before all this happened, Dewey was pretty lame. Not many friends, no one really paid attention to him. And Dewey basically looks up to Harry. If you ask me, I think he wants to be like Harry. Now, Dewey was at Harry's house when Harry said he wished Cassandra was dead. And on episode 5, Dewey goes up to Harry and said, "Whoever killed Cassandra did us a favor. They're a hero." Dewey got defensive when Harry said whoever killed Cassandra should be punished. And Dewey basically, quote unquote, confessed to Harry that he killed Cassandra. But what if Dewey was just saying he did it to be cool or to win Harry over as a friend? Harry was not pleased with this news at all. I don't know what Dewey thought Harry was going to say. Like, "Oh, thank you, brother. Like, you're amazing." No. And Dewey, so he didn't get the reaction that he wanted from Harry. And he was really hoping for a different reaction. So they find the gun. Harry goes and tells the guard and tells Allie, "Dewey killed your sister. He told me." So the guard goes and searches, that was the funniest part of the season. You guys have to watch the show. And they find the gun in Dewey's house. And if you ask me, I think the gun was planted at Dewey's house. Dewey did say he killed Cassandra during the trial. He even said Campbell helped him plan the murder. But maybe he said that because he wanted to take people down with him, because he knew he was going down. At the execution, Dewey was begging for them not to kill him. And even though Dewey said he did it, I don't believe that he did. And I don't think they should have killed Dewey. I feel like there are other alternatives. That part was extremely sad. Rest in peace, Greg Dewey. Okay, so my prediction for season 2, which is coming out this year, 2020, is that Cassandra's murder will come back up and we'll find out what really happened. And I want to say one more thing about Allie, because my brother thinks I'm weird for thinking that Allie would kill her sister, but listen to this. We don't know the ins and outs of Allie's and Cassandra's relationship. They seem close, but do we really know their relationship? We only saw them together for 3 episodes or 4. Can we really know everything about someone or a relationship in just 3 or 4 episodes? Things may have happened that we don't even know about. So maybe it's much deeper than, oh, I lived in my sister's shadow. Maybe it could be something else. So I think that's just something to think about. That's just my 2 cents. But I really enjoyed The Society. You guys should watch it. It's really, it's a show. It's a show that must be watched by everyone. So that's it for this week's episode of Netflix Queen. Next week, you guys probably want to tune in because I'm going to be talking about On My Block, another Netflix original series. Season 3 just dropped today. Yay. So, if you haven't seen season 3 of On My Block, go watch that real quick. It's only 8 episodes this time. So sad. I thought it was going to be 10. So go watch it because I'm going to be I might talk about the seasons 1 to 3, but more than likely I'll probably just be talking about season 3. So I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. I did. It was fun. Thanks for tuning in, and I will see y'all next week. Bye-bye.